Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. We always try to tackle some pretty fascinating topics here, but today's might be one of the biggest ones yet. The fear of death.
Ooh, yeah. That's a heavy one, all right.
It really is. But to help us make sense of it all, we're turning to a truly unique source, Allan Kardec's The Spirits book. Have you heard of this one?
Absolutely. It's not your average philosophical text. Kardec, he actually collected teachings from, get this, highly evolved spirits.
Wait. Spirits. Like ghosts.
Essentially, yeah. They communicated through mediums, and Kardec compiled all their wisdom into this incredible book.
That's wild. And for our deep dive, we're going to be focusing on just two specific questions from the Spirits book. Questions 941 and 942.
From Chapter 1 of Part 4.
Right, which is all about earthly joys and sorrows, and specifically how those relate to the fear of death.
Definitely. It's a fascinating look at why we humans get so freaked out about death, even though logically, it's the one thing we all have in common.
Exactly. And Kardec gets right to the heart of it in question 941. He basically asks, why are people so afraid of death when they have a whole future waiting for them on the other side? It seems kind of counterintuitive, right? Like, shouldn't we be excited about what comes next?
I know, right? It's a great question. And the spirits, their answer is really interesting. They talk about the huge impact of religious teachings, especially those we learn early on in life.
Oh, yeah. Those ideas about heaven and hell, sin and punishment, they definitely stick with you.
For sure. For some folks, it leads them to reject those beliefs entirely. They become atheists or materialists, thinking this physical life is all there is.
Makes sense. But for others, even if they don't follow organized religion anymore, that fear of eternal damnation, it kind of lingers in the back of their minds.
Exactly. The spirits really highlight that tension. But they also point out that for people who live a good life, a life guided by strong morals and faith, well, death doesn't hold the same kind of terror. For them, there's a certainty about a positive future beyond this earthly existence.
It's like their faith gives them a sense of peace about the whole thing.
Totally. And it's at this point that the spirits introduce this fascinating distinction between what they call carnal individuals and moral persons.
Okay, those terms sound a bit, old-fashioned.
A little bit, yeah. But trust me, there's a really insightful point here. Think of someone totally obsessed with earthly pleasures, material possessions, status, instant gratification. The spirits would call them carnal individuals.
Okay, I'm starting to see the picture. So these carnal individuals, their happiness is super fragile because it's based on external things that can change or disappear in a flash.
Right, and because of that, death terrifies them. They're clinging to this life, to their possessions and pleasures, and they can't bear the thought of losing it all.
It's like they're building their whole identity on a foundation of sand. One little wave, and poof, it's gone. So then, these moral persons, on the other hand, who are they?
Well, they're the ones who've managed to move beyond those superficial desires. They find lasting satisfaction in doing good deeds, in contributing to something bigger than themselves. Their happiness comes from within, from living a life of purpose and meaning.
It's like their foundation is solid rock. Nothing can really shake them.
Exactly. And because their happiness isn't dependent on external things, they don't fear death as much. It's just a transition to another state of being.
That makes a lot of sense. But I'm wondering, life isn't always easy. Things happen, bad things. Does just telling someone to get over their fear of death really do any good? It seems a bit simplistic.
It's a good point. And Kardec, he actually addresses that directly in his very next question. He asks the spirits, if this advice isn't a bit too straightforward, like, don't people just need to toughen up and deal with their problems?
And what did the spirits say to that?
Oh, their response is brilliant. They use this really clever analogy. Imagine a bunch of sick people who refuse to follow their doctor's orders, but they still expect to be cured.
Oh, I see. They want the results without putting in the effort.
Exactly. And the spirits are suggesting that we do the same thing with the fear of death. We can't expect to conquer it without addressing the root cause, which is often our own anxiety about the meaning of life and what happens after we die.
It's like trying to treat the symptoms without acknowledging the underlying disease.
Exactly. We can't just ignore those deeper questions and hope the fear will magically go away. The spirits are guiding us toward a more profound understanding. If our fear is rooted in an attachment to the fleeting things of this world, well, the way to overcome it is to cultivate a more meaningful existence, one that's less tied to material things and more focused on lasting values.
It's about finding that solid rock foundation, both in our lives and in our understanding of death.
Absolutely. And that's a powerful message for all of us, no matter what our beliefs are.
I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive into the Spirit's book for today. It's been an incredibly thought-provoking conversation.
It really has.
We've explored the origins of our fear of death, looked at contrasting views on the afterlife, and most importantly, uncovered the power of living a life of purpose and meaning. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. If we truly want to overcome the fear of death, maybe we should start by examining how we're living right now, today. Are we building our lives on those fleeting pleasures, or are we seeking something more substantial, something that transcends this material world?
It's a great question to ponder, and one that might just hold the key to facing our deepest fears.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.